I get it. I have small arms. You know what? Let's do a measure. Should we measure? Let's measure. Not thick. So, I've been rocking an Android Wear watch on my skinny little wrist since its inception back in like 2013, 2014. That was before the Apple Watch. The software has always been so unbearably slow, haptics have been hit or miss, and the fitness features have, for the most part, just kind of been missing. What us weirdos in the Android world needed was an Apple Watch of Android. We needed a Pixel Watch. So let's start out with the specs. Pixel Watch has a 2.1-inch OLED display with some kind of chunky bezels. 294 milliamp hour battery, Samsung Exynos 9110 from 4 years ago, so you know it's kind of old. Then 2 gigs of RAM, which is pretty nice. See, I love the design. It's super sleek, minimal, beautiful, cute. So let's get the display out of the way. I have the always-on display turned on because, you know, it's a watch, so I should see the time without doing, you know, weird wrist movements. Now the problem is I get some hardcore image retention. Because it's constantly showing the same thing on the screen at all times, it starts to retain that part of the image, and you notice it when navigating through other apps. It doesn't look like burn-in because when I turn off the feature, that problem seems to go away. However, I would imagine that given enough time, it likely would become burn-in eventually. I guess if that bothers you, you'll save some battery if you just turn that off, so there you go. The display isn't the biggest, and it does have some chalky bezels. However, the bezels surrounding it actually don't hurt it much. Given that most of the UI is black, and we have an OLED display, you really have to try to be annoyed about bezels. Something Google had to nail the first time, though, was the bands. You can't change band mechanisms around after each model because people will be annoyed about having to buy new bands every other model year. Now, fortunately, I think Google has got it. Each side has a little thingy that you push down and pull the band over to remove. To put a band back on, push down with the band and click into place by rotating the other direction. It takes some getting used to, and I don't even know if that made any sense, but once you have the hang of it, it's really not too bad. Okay, what is too bad though are the prices that they want for these bands. Google wants like $80 for a leather band. Nuh-uh, anybody got time for that? So what you're gonna do is you're gonna go online, you're gonna go on like AliExpress, buy some of those bands, but you gotta buy multiple because sometimes they don't work. Like this band, I got this cheap little owl mill, what do you call it? This one, it doesn't fit, so like it falls off. The leather one works fine though. So buy them elsewhere, just make sure you buy multiple because the quality sucks. It's fitness time, boys. Google acquired Fitbit back in 2019, and a big focus with the Pixel Watch, well, Fitbit. Now, these muscles that you're drooling over right now, yeah, they're fake, and you know that. We've been over my tiny wrists already. Let's start with this. Unlike the Apple Watch, this watch does not have automatic workout detection, meaning before I start a workout, I would have to actually remember to go on my watch and tell it to start logging. Now, obviously, I've never stepped foot in a Planet Fitness, but I can imagine that'd be very stressful. Like, people, stop looking at me. I know I'm hot. Give me some space. And when you're stressing out because you can't handle being around people in the gym, the last thing you need is to have to remember to tell your watch to start paying attention like a damn child with ADHD. With that slight feature oversight out of the way, I actually do think Pixel Watch wants me to be fit more than I actually do. Every second this thing checks heart rate. 91, 95, 93. Okay, that's actually kind of high. Whatever. Most smartwatches will check just around every minute, so this is quite the system Google has going on here. It's cool, but like, I can't turn it off. That's not an option in the settings, so hopefully that comes as an update because battery life is not spectacular. Let's talk about that. You're gonna need to charge this like every day, sometimes more, especially if you're using features like sleep tracking. Let me be real here. After the review is over, I'm not going to keep using sleep tracking because to use it, I have to throw the watch on the charger for like 15 minutes before I go to bed, just so the watch will have enough power to do its thing overnight. Then, of course, in the morning, I have to charge it again so it's ready for the day. So battery, not good. However, sleep tracking, that's kind of, it's kind of neat. It knows when you are sleeping. It knows when. Every morning, the watch gives you a sleep score from 1 to 100. If you got a 1, you probably didn't sleep. And if you get 100, honestly, you're probably dead. It tells you your total time asleep or awake. It'll tell you about your sleep stages, whether that be awake, REM sleep, deep sleep, light sleep. It tells you about your heart rate while you were sleeping, so it's pretty cool. I don't know how accurate it is, but they sure do a good job of making me believe it's accurate. As some other little fitness FYIs, Pixel Watch can take an ECG. Now, they told me I should be 22 to use that feature, but I tried it anyway, because why would I have to be 22?
I'm a big boy.
Anyways, it seems to work, I guess. In addition, Pixel Watch can take a blood oxygen reading. At least it should be able to.
Eventually.
The hardware's there, but it's Google, so maybe it won't show up. It should come in a software update, though. Alright, bros, hold on to your panties. It is time to get negative. First off, despite it looking like there would be, there's no Qi charging. If you put it on a Qi charger that you would normally use to charge a phone or even some other watches from some other brands, it's gonna look like it's doing something and then just completely start freaking out after a couple seconds. So I was really looking forward to charging it with my Moto 360 dock thing, but yeah, no go there. Oh. So, I set up the camera to show that it doesn't charge, but like, it's charging now. I guess it works, but like, it didn't before, so maybe it won't. And officially it doesn't work. Like, from Google, they say it won't work. Yeah, I don't know, it's weird. Instead, I gotta stick with the little puck that falls on the floor every time you take the watch off. Next, software. Bros. This is still very much Wear OS. It runs Wear OS 3, which is essentially Wear OS 2 with a skin thrown on top. Now, that's not a bad thing. I actually really like Wear OS. What's great is this watch flies. Like, not really flies, but it's fast. Easily the fastest Wear OS watch I've ever used. It responds to touch, opens apps, and does everything you'd want it to do pretty quickly. And that's new for Wear OS. Most watches you put on, and it's like you're using a little potato on your wrist. This is certainly a look. What complements the software really well is the crown with haptics that feel... What does it feel like?
Nice.
Next, the button, no, not the crown, but the button. See, it's easy to miss. When you press it, it shows you your recent apps. Double press it and it swaps between your last used apps. But who the hell multitasks on a watch? See, the longer you stare at your watch, the more you begin to look like one of those weird kids that wore calculator watches. So let me program that button to do something else. So opening the flashlight would be perfect. Okay, next. This one's annoying. If you've never used Wear OS before, you actually wouldn't notice it's gone, but on other watches, you can enable wrist gestures. If you don't have a free hand to interact with your watch, you can just twist your wrist up to interact. Want to pull up the notification shade? Twist your wrist up. You look really stupid if someone catches you doing it, but it is so convenient, and Google seems to have dropped that.
Oh, look at this. You see this shield pot? We don't need that, my man. You know what? We don't need this. We don't need that. Why? Because we the best player in the game, and that's facts. Yo, we need that, my man. Hold on, chat. We need that.
All right, one more thing. Buried deep on Google's website, they claim that Pixel Watch is water resistant up to 50 meters. Now, Apple says the same thing about the Apple Watch Series 8, but not gonna lie, I think I trust Apple more on that. See, Apple has a water ejecting feature that uses the speaker to play a funky sound to shoot the water out, and it seems to work. Unless I'm a nut job, which, I mean, I am, but like a super duper nut job, that isn't something that's currently possible on the Pixel Watch. In addition, Apple always has water-related activities plastered all over their advertising for Apple Watch, which Google just limits that info to the very bottom of a little tiny FAQ page, as though they're not really confident. So I'm not super confident either, and I won't be taking it swimming anytime soon. Just something to point out. After all, maybe it's fine. So is this the Apple Watch of Android? No, not quite this year. However, this year, it just works, which is something I could never say about an Android smartwatch before. So, all right. So I want to clarify here for just the man, my hair. Anyways, I want to clarify here that I don't think this is a bad watch. This is a really good watch. But I think for the price, Google is asking for just $50 less than the Apple Watch Series 8. But really, I feel like it matches more in line with the Apple Watch SE that Apple charges $254 for. So I think if you can get the Pixel Watch on sale for just $50 less, then I think the value is there. But really, it doesn't quite have the Google magic that would make it feel like a $350 watch. All right, but really, I think an even better answer, wait another 6 months for the second gen. Google will hopefully make the bezels not chonkers, the battery should be better, and maybe the waterproofing will be more confidence-inspiring. So yeah, maybe wait, or wait for a sale. Just wait, don't buy it now. That's all I got.